Hi guys, it's Ali from JCW Ventures. Obviously, some of you know me, some of you don't. So this is me actually going into YouTube after guys asked countless times, Ali, when are you going to start a YouTube channel? When are you going to start making videos? So here it is. So we're off to do something special. Mini has invited me to a special screening, so I'll fill you in when we get there. So I'm literally driving with Rob. We're going to head to the Mini factory now, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers, bye. So I thought it'd be fitting, obviously, as the Minis come back home with Rob's car, that we do a little video outside the Mini factory. Obviously everyone's naturally leaving work. This is around about 5:30 now, or going on 6 actually, sorry. So yeah, just got the cars outside, directly out the Mini factory plant, sorry. So they're all just sitting there, nice slightly windy day, so we've got the flags flying, and everyone's sort of leaving work. Obviously naturally we're going to go to the visitor centre to watch the Italian Job, with the actual director's going to be there, actually shot the film. We get to ask some questions. I'm not sure what the event fully entails yet. Obviously I'll record what I can and then show you guys soon. Yeah, so guys, here's the screen. So obviously what's happening in Plant for now, we're going to watch the Italian Job, the movie, obviously being the 50th anniversary of the movie, obviously naturally this year as well, it's the 60th. So we've got a private screening, gather there's going to be a few journalists here as well, a few brand owners. Rob will be here because he's part of the Mini 60th anniversary video series. Tanya's here as well. So we got some of the cars from the Italian Job. So we got the Minis there on the side, and then we've got the Miura, the Aston Martin, and the E-Type Jaguar that were briefly in the movie. Obviously, we all know the main stars of the show are the classic 3 Minis that went to Italy, stole the gold, and as we say, the rest is history now. So I'll let you guys know when I filled you in. I'll sort of brief you guys in when we watch the movie again, and then show you an after video as well. Thank you.
And the coincidence of the 50th anniversary of the Italian Job and the 60th anniversary of Mini just seemed far too good to resist. So we felt we had to do something, and tonight is the result. We're going to hear from Michael and Matthew after the screening actually. They're going to be joined here on stage by Robert Powell, who we're delighted is here with us. Many of you know Robert. He's been a very successful actor right through the years. You remember him for Jesus Christ Superstar, probably best. Those of us of a certain vintage anyway. By David Salamone, who was the car coordinator for the film and also ended up acting in it as the driver of Michael Caine. And also by Hazel Collinson. We're delighted she's here as well. She's got a little part in the play, in the film, but she was the wife of the late Peter Collinson, the director of the film, so delighted you could all be here. And I know there are many other cast and crew from the film and relatives of those people. It is an absolute joy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the evening. I want to say just a quick word about where we are, this plant. We're very proud of it. It's one of the oldest car plants in the whole world. It's 105 years old, 105 years of continuous production of cars. Very, very rare. And we're only a few hundred metres from where, in the late 50s, Sir Alec Issigonis, genius designer, came up with the whole idea of the Mini. And in 1959, it was launched, and the very first car rolled off the line around this time of year in 1959. Interestingly, it wasn't an immediate success, the Mini. It was really only in the early 60s, 1961, when John Cooper, the famous racing driver, drove a Mini and realised it was the fantastic basis of a racing car, a performance car. And then it really started to take off with the launch of the Mini Cooper. And I'm so delighted that Paddy Hopkirk is with us this evening, the winner of the 1964 Monte Carlo Rally, in a Mini Cooper. So Paddy, thank you so much for being here. And that win followed by another win in 65 and another in 67, was a terribly important part of Mini's success story. And actually through the 60s, the Mini was really sort of gaining momentum and appeal, and it became a cool car, a fantastic thing. So in 1969, when the Italian Job was made, the die was cast, and there's no denying that this film made a huge difference to the Mini brand. It was a big part of its appeal through the years. And I think we've all sat, haven't we, at Christmas time watching it on TV. I mean, it may well be, actually, that some of you are seeing it on the big screen for the first time. I'm one of them, actually, so I'm really looking forward to it. So if we fast forward to today, this plant builds close to 250,000 Minis a year. It's about 1,000 cars a day, or one every 67 seconds. And they're exported all over the world, 112 countries around the world. We're terribly proud of what's been done here. In a few weeks' time, we're going to unveil the first battery electric Mini that's going to be built here at this plant. So the history of Mini continues. The Italian Job is very much a part of that. So what I want to say next was to talk about the cars that we've got on display. Hopefully you've had a chance to have a look at them. First about the Minis. Now, sadly, the Minis that were in the film, we think, anyway, and Matt's done a lot of research into this, we're pretty sure they were crushed. So these are replicas, sadly, but they're fantastic replicas, and I'd like to thank very much the owners of those cars who very kindly made them available for this evening. And then we've got these three very special cars to my right. Now, this is the first time these cars have been together since 1969 on the set of the film. And the car closest to me is a Lamborghini Miura, which has been a kind of mystery car that vaporised into the sort of classic car world and has risen up recently, and we're so grateful for the owner who's here tonight to make the car available for this very special appearance. The first time these three cars, which are really the only three surviving supercars from the film, appear together. So the Aston Martin DB4 convertible and the E-Type. So thank you so much for all of you who kindly brought those cars along.
You're only supposed to know
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your evening at the Mini plant in Oxford. I wanted to send you all a personal message. But this is the 50th year of The Italian Job, a film that I'm still very proud of, produced by my good friend Michael Dealey. There's a special thing about this film, personally. The thing was that I didn't have a driving license and I couldn't drive. But what happened was we had such big areas for the Minis to move, you didn't need a license because they were closed to ordinary traffic. So for me, it was incredible because I sort of learned to drive on the movie. The great star of the movie, we didn't know it, but with the Mini, we just used Minis because it was a new car out, and it became worldwide success, and it was fabulous in the movie. And now it's celebrating its 60th birthday, you know, which is fantastic. As a Brit, of course, I'm very proud of this car, which was a worldwide success. I mean, it was incredible. And so we should all be very proud out there in the Mini plant for making it. Congratulations. Happy birthday, Mini. I want you all to sit back and enjoy the evening. One last thing. If by any chance you get an opportunity to read a book by Matthew Field, read it. It's very good, and much more important, the foreword is by me. Okay? Good night.
I think I'm probably even more than And we did do the magic trick of going round and round and round the belt and not letting anybody on. There were 6 of us, we could go round and round. And eventually, one day when we were going to get our princely £35 at the office, we were all racing to be first, and Barry, who drove the white Mini, decided he had to win, and he overtook us all and couldn't stop. He smashed into a big Fiat 130, and we went into the office to find out that the owner of that car also owned all our Fiat 500s, and that was the last day of the Fiat 500s.
Not before we had invented another game. I can't believe I'm saying this. When we got to traffic lights, we worked out that it would be quite funny if we pushed the front Cinquecento into the oncoming traffic. And we did, and so you got a sort of a really weird effect, because obviously whoever was at the front realised what was happening. So they went into reverse. So their car went up at the back, and the car next to it went up at the front. And we all ended up with our cars up. So I think it's just as well that we're taken away from it.
Now, Hazel, I want to ask you about a particular scene that you were involved in. You all just remember the scene where this beautiful Aston Martin and E-Type Jaguar crunched on the side of the road and tipped over the mountain. Now, Hazel, you've got a story about that scene, haven't you? Tell us about that.
Disley, who was our art director on the movie, was very, very camp. And he was sent away to the city to get a long, long line of very, very threatening butch men dressed in black to be the mafia as they came up on the mountain. And they were to terrify. So when the scene came about and they were queued up stepped a line of the nicest Italian boys you'd ever seen. It was so funny.
Not what you were expecting.
No, definitely not.
I want to come back to talk about the minis, because that's all here to celebrate. So, Michael, all those scenes we see in the film, some incredible stunts. We know they were all shot for real. There was no CGI on there at all. The most dangerous, of course, being the leap between the two buildings. How concerned were you about that particular sequence?
Sorry to say, I can't hear you. Too much reverb to say.
The jump between the two buildings, when the minis leap from one building to the other.
They've heard it, tell me.
I was going to say, can you tell us the story about what happened? So they jump between the two... So the jump between the two buildings. Oh, okay. How concerned were you about that particular sequence?
I'm not surprised I couldn't hear that. I was very concerned. I was a little bit concerned for the drivers who might make a mistake. I was very much more concerned about myself, because I was told that as the employer of these daredevils, any difficulties or accidents would be at my door, and I would be arrested, frankly, and I didn't like the sound of that at all. I had a rather nice car lent to me by Fiat, which would get me to the airport very quickly if necessary, and a plane was standing by. Because I really thought, well, I'd love being in Italy. I didn't think I'd love being in an Italian jail, and I'd rather talk about it from England. And that's exactly what I had set up for that purpose. Thank God it wasn't needed.
Thanks you went to get this film made. Robert, I want to come to you again next. I remember you telling me a story about when you were chatting to Michael Caine, how Michael Caine got his name is one of the things he told you. And I want you to tell exactly how you told it to me last time.
I thought that would come up. I mean, I think a lot of people know the background to Michael's name. His real name is Maurice Micklewhite. Believe it or not, he couldn't use that name professionally. I'm talking, this is now the 50s. Because there was a Maurice Micklewhite already in Equity. I know, it's difficult to believe. So he decided he'd call himself Michael Scott. But unfortunately, it proved there was a Michael Scott also in Equity, so he couldn't use that name either. And he got a job, and it's one of his very first jobs, on Joan of Arc, playing a jailer or a warden for ITV. And his agent said to him, listen mate, you've got to come up with a name by 6 o'clock, because ITV are issuing the contract. And if they've not got a name that they're going to issue to, then you're not going to get the job. So Michael said, I went away to Leicester Square. And I sat there having a cup of coffee in a coffee bar. And I thought, what am I going to call myself? I looked out the window, and there, over the road, was at the Odeon, was the Caine Mutiny. And I thought, that's it. That is a really good, strong name, Caine. I'm going to call myself Michael Caine. If I'd looked out the other window, I would have called myself Michael 101 Dalmatians.
The 3 Mini drivers in the film drove the 3 Minis back to London for the Monday morning at Twickenham Studios. We'd had a few little things on the way. We'd had a run-in with a big Citroen who was annoying us. So
Come on, tell the story, David. Don't rush over it. Tell us the story.
he kept accelerating every time we tried to pass him. We couldn't pass him, so we ran him off the road. Unfortunately, we didn't realise we were only about 5 kilometres before the Swiss border. And as I was going through the customs giving my thing, I looked in the rear view mirror, and here was this Citroen flying along with all the lights flashing and his horn going, and he was going to cause us trouble. He had Swiss registered. So luckily, the last minute, we just got through and got away, and I could see him screaming at the policeman and the thing. Anyway, we did keep going, and we did finally make it back to London. It was a lovely sunny Saturday afternoon. We didn't have to have the cars to Twickenham until Monday. I went home. Barry, who drove the white Mini, went to his home, which was in Chigwell, and I thought everything was fine until I got a call from the police station saying that they'd arrested Barry, locked him up. And I couldn't understand that. And he said, well, you got done for speeding. I said, yeah, but they won't lock you up. He said, the trouble was, when they opened the boot, it was full of gold bars. He said, and then it got better because they checked the registration number and we still had the movie numbers on, and that didn't exist. And then they looked at the tax disc and that was fake. And that was it. So I got fortunately, the police liaison officer, and we went over there and we got him out to the prison.
It almost sounds like your adventure you had in Italy was more exciting than the film itself. Now, Hazel, I want to come to you next.
Or something, but I'm pretty sure I returned the 6 main minis back to BMC, and I think they destroyed them, and only because they were pretty rough. They had dents in the roof from the jump, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have put them out on the road again.
But they all did survive.
6 survived, yes.
Now, I want to talk about the ending of the film, because isn't it one of the most iconic endings of all time? Isn't it? Yeah. It is. So that was the brains of Michael Deedy sitting with us. So, Michael, tell us about how you came up with the ending of the film.
Desperation. We've done quite well, and we're just about to finish, except we hadn't got to finish. 2 or 3 versions did come out, but they were fine for the original script, really rather good for the original script, but not for what we'd shot, which was this helter-skelter mad race to a finish. And I was difficulty, got on a plane to go back to talk to Paramount, who were paying for the thing. And on their way, suddenly thought, 2 words into it for cliffhanger. And that, on the back of an envelope, was all we had, was the idea of this ending, which actually never ended. And I went to Paramount, and they were intrigued by it, and they also were conscious of the fact that should it be required, it's a brilliant way into a sequel. Another easy way to make money for them, which was just respectable, but in the end, inappropriate. But they went with the ending because they thought it was original, and I love it.
Well, David, you were in that sequence with Robert when the coaches bouncing back and forth. Tell us your memories of filming that sequence.
Okay, well, it's actually filmed in the studio, totally flat, it's not moving, and the director wasn't happy with what we were doing when we were moving around. So they gave the boys beer. Gradually, after about 50 takes, they got what they wanted. And that was our last day of shooting, so it was kind of like an end party.
And Robert, I want to come to you next. As we've said, you had this incredible career, but what does this film mean to you? When you sat there and watched the film this evening, what sort of memories does it spark? Where does it fit in your career?
There are a couple of levels, really. I made a great friend out of this chap here, and we've known and been friends ever since. And it did, because of the circumstances of it, it did become, over the years, for me personally, an extraordinary happy memory. But there was one little moment, you talk about the last day's shooting with that. I had just been, I was a very, very junior actor. I'd done bits and pieces. And I'd been in rep, I'd done theatre and everything. But as I say, I was very young. And I went to the BBC for an interview for a Wednesday play, which some of the audience are probably old enough to remember. And it was for a fantastic part, a play written by Nigel Neal. And this was while we were still shooting The Italian Job. And the day that we were shooting the final scene, the BBC asked me to go back for another interview for this part. Now, I knew this was a complete disaster because I would never be allowed out. But I spoke to the first assistant who went to see Peter Collinson, and we explained the situation. And I thought he was just going to say, "No, I'm sorry, you're required for the scene." He said, "Right." He said, "Lunchtime, get him a car, get him to the BBC, White City from Twickenham." He said, "And don't you worry about getting back. You just take your time and do the interview." I got the job, and from that day, I have never really looked back. So, in other words, I owe the biggest break of my life to one of the most generous men I've ever met, Peter Collinson. I shall ever remember him for that.
Well, Hazel, I should give you the final words, and we're going to come to you. What does this film mean to you and your family?
Well, I've got to say, we laugh at it, and it's beautiful to see it on the big screen, and we enjoy it. But there's a lot of tears in it. There really is. Because Pete was gone before it became famous. The children were very, very small when he died. So in a way, this movie has kept him alive in their hearts because they can actually see their dad, even though he shouldn't have been at the end of the bus, but they can see him. And that way, it has kept him alive because it's sad to lose someone you love so young. It really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't got time for any questions, but please give a round of applause for our panel.